I'd love to hear what panelists think about the disagreements, the big two disagreements between feminist activists, if it's the same as in Australia. In Australia, it seems like feminists agree on a lot, like domestic violence and abortion, but they disagree on trans and prostitution, resulting in the liberal feminist slurs swerf and turf. Is this the same in other countries? And is this, could we then say, if it is the same, could we characterize this as a kind of global ideological dispute? Or are the fault lines different in different places?
It's absolutely the same in the Netherlands, where immediately told were turfs and swerves and everything. So this two sides of the feminist medal. I don't know. For me, I don't think you can be a feminist when you are pro-trans.
Same situation here in Brazil. Leftists totally colonized, just like I said, trans activists and pimp lobbyists and pornographers. And maybe here it's worse, because here trans activists, they are not only pro-prostitution, they are pimps themselves.
I would say that it's the same in the UK. I think the organisations that call themselves feminist aren't feminist at all. A lot of them have been taken over by trans activists. Or you could say that they're liberal feminists who accept gender ideology and prostitution and so on. But to most of us, we wouldn't even see them as feminist. But it has caused a real problem, because certainly some younger women who are involved in fighting the gender ideology won't call themselves feminists, because they feel that the word feminist has been taken over by trans activist men, basically, and just and I think, and I say, well, what do you call yourselves? And they say, oh, women's rights activists or something, because they see calling yourself a feminist now is so problematic.
Being in favor of gender and being in favor of prostitution makes a person anti-feminist, not feminist. And the only other thing I think I might be able to add is that this movement has completely decimated the theory of intersectionality that was created by an American law professor, Kimberly Crenshaw, to describe the particular plight of Black women fighting against discrimination in the United States. And so the trans activists and the sex workers or workers, sex worker rights activists have completely decimated what was originally a really brilliant legal theory to describe the plight of Black women fighting against discrimination in employment in the US. Kimberly Crenshaw created this legal theory called intersectionality to describe a particular case in which a Black woman sued a company for not hiring her, and the company denied that it discriminated against her because it in fact did employ Black people, and it in fact did employ women. And what the courts ignored was the fact that 100% of the Black people that worked at the company were men, and they were manual laborers, and 100% of the women that the company employed were secretaries, and all of the leadership were white men. So what Kimberly Crenshaw was describing is a situation in which a Black woman could not get relief in the courts because the company was able to say, and the court accepted the argument, that the company was not discriminating against her as a Black woman because the company did in fact employ Black people and women. So Kimberly Crenshaw was describing a very specific situation and a plight that Black women face in employment in the United States. And trans activists have now seized on that and now say, feminism must be intersectional, which means that it must include men, i.e. trans-identified men.
There's a lot of lip service. They say, yes, we are obviously for equal pay. The liberal feminists, they're for equal pay, they're for against, they want pro-choice and so on. But if you ask further, there's no, there are no teeth They're just like, it would be nice, wouldn't it be nice? It would be kind, would you awfully mind? But it's not like, it's our bloody right, give it to us, you know? There's no, so it's very smooth, and there's not a real interest in actually putting up a fight and being strong.